You watching what's going on in Los Angeles, bro?
Not closely, but I do know it's mayhem.
It's total mayhem.
Yeah.
Dude, they are burning cars, blocking the freeway, and they're saying it's peace. The California governor is saying that's a peaceful protest, and mad that the federal government, that the White House, that Trump is sending in the National Guard to help them. Like, dude, it's hard for me to fathom. You have illegal immigrants who are protesting being deported to Mexico or the original country, and they're running around waving a Mexican flag and burning American flags. What kind of logic does that make?
But they're protesting
having to go back
to Mexico, but they're waving Mexican flags.
Yes. Isn't that something? And that's all peaceful. And they're throwing rocks off overpasses at the federal ICE agents.
I did see that. I did see where a number of police cars looked like stopped on the highway, and it looked like their windshields were pretty destroyed.
And man, a lot of them they're literally, I mean, they're driving down the road and they're burning this, looters are starting again. And,
is it the whole city? Is it a section of the city?
Man, I don't know the specifics on that. I think it's downtown.
Because, man,
LA.
I'm thinking, man, we were just there a few years ago. And
that's been 8-9 years.
I say a few. It's been longer than that, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been 8 or 9 years. But I think it's downtown area because it looks like it's on the freeways.
Okay.
And whichever freeway it is, I'm not sure. It didn't look like it's like the PCH or anything. But
is it still going on? Did it stop? How long has it been going on?
Well, it's not.
Or how long did it go on?
Well, it went on. I know for 2 days or whatever, and then he sent in the National Guard and now even some Marines, I think. And that's why they're mad. In fact, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is suing the Trump administration for sending in the National Guard to stop these peaceful protests, which is ridiculous.
So the governor of California is suing Trump, the current administration, for sending in the National Guard to
save his city. So, just a thing, I guess. It just makes no sense, man. You got to be logical, and we try to avoid getting too political here, but man, that's just craziness and ridiculousness and stupidity. I'm sorry. You don't allow people to be lawless, and if they allow that and just said it's okay, then why have any laws, right? It's like it's just giving them the freedom to do whatever they want, and then the president sends help to stop the chaos, and they say he's being a tyrant, a dictator. That's the word they want to use.
So what is the outcome that the governor wants from the protests?
I don't know. It's just they're in that vacuum of wokeness, and they just I think they think, well, I don't know. I think the main viewpoint of most Americans, and this is like a 90-10 issue, is what they say, with the immigration and with the, 90% of Americans support, not allowing illegal immigrants to just overrun the country. And we love everybody. That's what they want to say is, well, love people. No, we love everybody. But that doesn't mean you allow your country to become a wasteland of just anybody to come in not being vetted, not knowing where they come from, not knowing why they're leaving their country. And the biggest mistake being made is people say, well, this country was built on immigration. No, it wasn't. The people that come to this country and establish it were not immigrants. They were settlers. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, there has to be this done. And like I said, it's a 90-10 issue, but yet, and I think the biggest thought process on the whole thing is that the only reason to do that is to have those voters that would be on your side.
So you think that's the long game?